I asked my mom for help while pregnant, and she betrayed me when I needed her most. I'm 8 months pregnant. My belly is heavy, my back hurts constantly, and sleep is more of a suggestion than a reality. But more than the physical struggle, I'm dealing with something even harder. I'm doing all of this alone. You see, my husband is in the military, and right now, he's deployed. We both knew this was a possibility. But still, we hoped. We filed for leave. We wrote letters, pleaded through official channels. We wanted desperately for him to be here when our baby enters the world. But the answer came back cold, detached, bureaucratic, denied. Apparently, welcoming your first child into the world doesn't rank high on the list of military priorities. So there I was, heartbroken, hormonal, and scared, facing the reality that I would likely be giving birth alone. No hand to hold, no familiar face to lock eyes with during the pain and chaos, just me and this incredible weight of becoming a mother. But I wasn't totally alone. Right? I had my mom. At least I thought I did. It started with a simple phone call. I told her everything. I broke down crying. I told her how the leave got denied, how my husband was devastated, and how terrified I was to do this without him. And I asked her, not demanded, just asked, if she could come stay with me for a couple of weeks. Just to help. Just to be there when the baby comes. I thought she'd understand. I mean, she's a mom herself. She knows how raw and overwhelming this journey can be, but instead of support, she hit me with something I never expected. She sighed, loudly. Then she said, "You know, everything doesn't always have to be about you." I froze. I wasn't even sure I heard her right. She went on, saying I was being too dramatic, that I was controlling the situation, and that I had unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic? I was 8 months pregnant, scared out of my mind, asking my mother for help. And she somehow found a way to make herself the victim. She said things like, "I have a life too, you know. You're not the only person who's ever had a baby. I'm not going to drop everything just because you're feeling emotional." Her words hit harder than I expected. I felt this burning knot in my chest, like someone had just slammed a door in my face while I stood out in the cold. I tried to explain that I wasn't trying to be selfish, that I wasn't controlling her. I just needed someone. Anyone. But she wasn't hearing it. She was already off on a tangent about how I always make things difficult and how hard it is to be my mother. And in that moment, it all became so clear. This wasn't about this one conversation. This was about a pattern. Growing up, I always had to tiptoe around her feelings. Her moods dictated the house. If she was happy, we were happy. If she was upset, the entire house walked on eggshells. I had trained myself to be the good daughter, the accommodating one, the one who never asked for too much. And yet, the one time I truly needed her, really truly needed her, she couldn't show up for me. She turned it around. Again. And it hurt more than I expected. Because deep down, I realized I was still that little girl hoping her mom would finally just show up. Just be there. For the next few days, I sat with the weight of that conversation. I cried. I journaled. I even considered apologizing just to smooth things over. But then I asked myself a tough question. Why should I have to apologize for needing support? I'm not asking for luxury. I'm not asking her to give up her life. I'm asking her to show up for the birth of her grandchild. To hold my hand while I go through one of the most vulnerable and terrifying experiences of my life. And if that's too much for her, then maybe, just maybe, I've been placing my hopes in the wrong person all along. Since then, I've made arrangements. A close friend of mine offered to be my birth partner. She's not family by blood, but in her actions, She's shown more heart than my own mother. I'm still scared, still emotional. But I'm also learning something powerful through this. Sometimes, the people we expect to be our shelter simply aren't capable. And that doesn't mean you're unworthy of support. It just means you might need to build your village differently. To anyone out there feeling abandoned by the people who were supposed to care, whether it's a parent, partner, or friend, you are not alone.
Sometimes family is chosen. Sometimes strength comes from letting go of the fantasy and embracing reality with courage and grace. So, what do you think? Was I asking too much from my mom? Or was she completely out of line? Have you ever faced a moment like this, when the people you thought you could count on just didn't show up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you've ever had to walk through fire without the people who should have walked with you, just know you're stronger than you think.